I'm the Tuzemi. As Delta State senatorial primaries results don't come out, Delta State Senator Ned Nwoko, they cry bitterly because now he don't lose home and away. He lose Regina Daniel when be beautiful wife when stand for her during the senatorial election for 2023. The wife now he don't go, so he don't lose Regina Daniel. Meanwhile, he doesn't lose his senatorial primary election to Delta State former governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. Now he dey lament because he not believe as the result they play. That is how we say home and away beating. You get the point. You lose your wife, you lose your senatorial seat. Meanwhile, Delta State Commissioner for Information and Works, Dr. Aniagwu, don't explain. Say Ned not get any reason to lament, and he not supposed expect he go back because he not do anything when warrant him going back as a senator. You say because no meaningful bill, no meaningful project when he go feel say na project when Ned do be this rather than fighting online, arresting persons, dragging marital issue online. Now you dey expect say you go back and not go work. You say because the first election when make her take go back, they just give her as passing a scholarship platform and they take give her. Now you dey expect to go back when you not work, things don't work like that. So now even people want her not to go back because he has failed them woefully. Hear the voice of Aniagwu.
For the last 4 years, Ned Nwoko has been a sitting senator, and I believe he has carried out different projects across his constituents. Is there a chance that that is not enough to return? And also, does he not have power of incumbency in this case? I mean, since you said that, he was expecting a coronation in some sense, what more does the grassroots expect from him?
Thank you very much. Let me even start from the Ned Nwoko issue that you raised. First of all, he has been in the Senate for about 3 years now, and that going to the Senate was more or less a scholarship extended to him by Senator Okowa when he was a governor, because Okowa left the Senate to contest for the governorship in 2015. And thereafter, Senator Nwaboshi came in, served for 2 terms, and then as at the time it was time for another election, Senator Okowa, of course you recall, became the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. And then Ned Nwoko pleaded that they should support him. And Okowa then directed that those of us who work with him should please support Ned Nwoko because since Ned Nwoko had been trying to take a shot at the senatorial seat. And we gave him the support because we saw the need to respect our leader. So that was why I said that it was more or less a scholarship that took him to the Senate. But as soon as he got to the Senate, he decided to ignore the benefit of that scholarship, just like what Chinua Achebe talked about those who had a benevolent spirit cracking their palm kernels, and then forgetting that that benevolent spirit can only be available if it is appreciated. So that particular gesture, of course, wasn't appreciated, and our people did not feel the impact of his representation. I am from the senatorial district where he's from. He had not carried out any single empowerment program. Let him come and show you where he carried out that empowerment program. He has not been able to attract any project to the 9 local governments in Delta North. He has preoccupied himself with what looks like a sham call for an aneoma, which he called anemoma, different from the coloration of the aneoma that we have. In Delta State, Judith, we have the aneoma people occupying 9 local governments in the Delta North senatorial districts. Individuals and persons who continue to wish and would love to remain in the southern zone, that is the south-south geopolitical zone, and not to be merged with any other persons. Individuals who also love the power, particularly in the case of Delta, persons who believe that the headquarters and the capital of Delta State, and even if we were to create a Neoma, should still remain in Asaba. But because he wanted to do some form of a sham appeal for state creation, he is discussing with persons in other places, promising them that once that is created, that they will be able to take the capital out of Asaba. How are you going to do that? There has never been anywhere in the history of Nigeria, apart from the issue of a movement of the Federal Capital Territory from Lagos to Abuja. There has never been any other state where they had to move the capital from one place to another, because you know the kind of crisis that could create. And that's the kind of thing that's the only thing that he can have as credit, even when it is not credit to himself. And so when you have that kind of thing happening, and the people know better that that is not in their own interest, and you are not connecting with them, I gave you an example a while ago, that these other persons connect. Now, talking about the issue of the 20 persons I talked about, I didn't say 20 persons were appointed to go from one place to the other. I said in most of the wards, these senators who won, particularly Okowa in Delta North, where I am from, had individuals, very key persons, that he can relate with, not because of this primary election, but on daily basis, that he can relate with. They call his number, he speaks to them, he knows their name, he knows even their unit. So that becomes more like a family issue, and this election is a family affair, because internal party primaries is members of the political family, and being for members of the political family, you expect that there's some form of relationship that exists.